والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode of your show, Inspirations. We're still trying to build the foundations of Islam in ourselves as we are dealing with the great hadith of Jibreel. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him. Today, inshallah, is considered to be a sequel to the first episode about zakah. We will delve into zakah. We'll carry on with talking about how Islam frees the Muslim soul or the person's soul from greed and from excessive love for wealth and for money, and it opens the heart for more goodness and increases the person and increases the love the person has actually for other people and other nations as well. Other things we will see are the examples from how the Prophet ﷺ struck the best example in how to be a generous person and how to understand the reality of wealth and money and how to deal accordingly. Other beautiful examples will be from the companions. May Allah be pleased with them. They really, struck wonderful examples in generosity, in really having love for others, helping the poor and the needy, and showing the mercy that every Muslim should have. And we have some other things as well to talk about, but before we go into that, let me remind you of our email address. Keep sending us your emails at inspirations@huda.tv, and you can still visit our website, which is www.buildingthefoundations.com. Let me now welcome our guests. We have Brother Samih with us, and we have Yasir, and Feroz, and Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. We talked about zakah in general, how Islam really encourages people to give in charity, to care for the needy and the poor people, and to feel their suffering. And it reminds us that we all come from one person. We're all the creation of Allah. And we said that this wealth, this money belongs to Allah. We only have it as a test. It's only in our hands to serve some purposes, noble purposes. It's not for us to serve money, save it, and spend our lives just trying to get as much money as possible, then save it, then die and leave it behind us. Because we will be questioned about all of this. Then we talked about how the Prophet ﷺ was very generous, and he taught us this generosity, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala urged us in the Qur'an to give more, and he promised multiple reward for those who spend in charity. And we all know the verse in Surah Al-Baqarah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ أَنْبَتَتْ سَبْعَ سَنَابِلَ. The example of people, or the people who give in charity for the sake of Allah, is like the wheat. When the wheat grows, one grain will give 700. Each grain will give 700. So it shows that when you give $1, £1 for the sake of Allah, you will get 700 times the same reward for that.
More.
Yes. So it just opens, the horizons of every person, that don't be limited. Don't let your insight be limited to the wealth that you have, that you possess. What Allah has is better. And every time Allah mentions the pleasures of this world, Allah says, وَاللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ حُسْنُ الْمَآبِ, and Allah has better than that. And Allah has greater reward. In order just to remind us of the reality of this world and this life. Now, we will try to start with some of the examples. If you know any of the examples, any of the incidents or instances where the Prophet ﷺ gave for the sake of Allah, or how the companions gave, so that makes a good start for our show today. Can you recall anything?
I remember once a companion came to the Prophet ﷺ and he presented him with, I think, a sweater or a shawl, something warm to wear, or a shirt. And another companion said he wants it from the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ, without asking, gave it to him. And the companions later scolded that other companion and said, the Prophet ﷺ needed that shirt or that shawl. Yet the Prophet ﷺ